with us. I mean, it's such a proud moment and such an honor to have you here in midst of our team. Thank you for agreeing to be here. Over to you.
Well, I'm so grateful to be here, actually, Leena. You know, I didn't know what to expect when you asked me to join in, and of course, I joined in happily. But I must tell you that not just the stories, not are inspiring. I mean, they're not just inspiring, but they're very heartwarming. And it just, I mean, it warms the cockles of my heart, I tell you, when I listen to all these stories, because I have so many of these, and I cannot stop going on and on and on. So you need to cut me off if I speak too much, okay? And the other thing is, what is most infectious is the enthusiasm over here. The enthusiasm that I could feel with every speaker and with you, Lena, and the energy of everyone who was there. I don't know. I mean, it's just so beautiful. And it's all for Healy, and all for the healings that have happened. And it just makes me feel good, really, really good. So what do you want me to speak about? Testimonies? I've got a whole load of them. Let me start with how I bought Healy actually. Um, you know, Several years ago, this was before COVID, my Gurudev, Sri Ravi Shankar Ji of the Art of Living, told me that because he knows my passion for learning, he knows that I'm a self-taught homeopath, a self-taught naturopath, and whatever. I love to learn, right? So he told me you should learn about frequency medicine because this is the future of the world. So at that point in time, I didn't know anything about it. So I started learning because I just do whatever he says, right? And it always works out. So I started learning about Healy, not about Healy, but frequency medicine. And then I was even, wanting to bring a machine, a frequency machine, which was a pretty big machine from the UK, from a clinic in the UK to heal addictions. And I thought I'll do this commercially, but my main intent was, to earn money, yes, but also, to make sure that people with addictions get out of it. And I was very keen on doing it. So I talked to him about it. He said, it's a good idea. You go ahead and do it. And then COVID happened. On the 14th of March 2020, I was supposed to travel to the UK. And you know what happened? Lockdown. So I couldn't travel. So then I spoke to Gurdev and I said, see, this has happened. He said, for 3 years now, don't do anything, okay? For 3 years, just stay put. I said, okay, fine. So for 3 years, I did nothing. And then one day I was at a party, and there was this political guy, an MLA from one of our Goan constituencies. I'm from Goa. And he was telling me, complaining bitterly. He was sitting next to me and complaining bitterly about the addictions in his constituency. And I told him, I know what to do. I know you can go and buy this machine and you do it. At one point in time, I wanted to buy it, but I didn't. But you can do it. So he said, no, only if you help me. So I said, no, I'll just do it as seva for you. I don't really want to get into it because I didn't know whether I wanted to partner with a politician, at that stage and all, although he seemed like a really nice guy. So I said, you go and buy it and all that. He said, no, you come, we will all go together. You come with your husband and I will come with you all and we'll do it and all that. And I came home that night and I thought 3 years have passed. And technology travel is so quick, right? It keeps getting obsolete and replaced. So I thought maybe there's something better now. So I prayed that night to my Gurudev. I said, look, if there is something better, guide me. And the very next day, somebody comes to my house. A friend of my husband's brings him. His name is Kiran. And he says to me, Madam, I've got this frequency device. Oh, frequency device. I was all ears, of course, after that. And he said, look at this, it was just a tiny little machine that, was smaller than the palm of my hand. And I'm like, this one? And he said, yeah. And I thought frequency devices are big. He said, no, this one is a new one and it's really good. I said, okay, what can it do? So he said, it can scan you and it can tell you what's wrong with me. And in those days, I was having some problems with swellings in my ankles, And I tried a few things and it would go down and it would come back again. So I said, okay, scan me, let me see. And sure enough, it picked up, circulation and fitness. So I knew, okay, it was right. So I said, now what do I do? How do I heal it? He said, you can take the same program, So I said, okay, fine, give it to me. So he gave me the program and then he left. That night, I stayed up till midnight, looking at my feet, waiting for the swelling to go down, but it didn't. So I went to bed. After that, when I woke up in the morning, I didn't have any swelling, none at all. After 5 months, my feet were clean. So I was so excited. I called Kiran. I said, look, is this going to last? I said, I don't know, but I hope it will. I said, look, come over. I want to buy this. So I bought it and I got so excited. I actually bought four, three for one each for my husband, for myself and my son, and one for a friend who was with me when I was buying. He said, buy for me too, and I'll pay you later. I said, okay. I bought them. I've never looked back. And then, I spoke to Gurudev and I said, I want to come and show you this machine and everything. And we all went to show him the frequency device. And we gifted Healy gifted a frequency device to Gurudev also. He was very happy. He said, there should be clinics for this and people should heal and whatever. He told me, use it and whatever. I said, yeah. And then now every time I meet him and I've got the device on, he says, oh, you're wearing it, you're using it, he says to me. And I feel so happy because it's come from him really for me. Then one day he told me, have you tried it for autism? And I said, yes, Gurudev, I tried it once for autism and the girl has completely healed. He said, you need to use it more for kids with autism or ADHD or learning difficulties, because usually the parents don't outlive the kid, right? So when the parents are no more, it's very difficult for the kid to survive. So you need to work with them because it's not just a problem for that child or that person, but also for the whole family. So work more with them. So I said, okay. So I started working with them and I'm getting rave results. But I do many other things as well. I work with Healy for anything and everything. And I must say one thing, Healy has never let me down. Healy and Mag Healy have never let me down. Let me tell you one story about the first autism patient that got healed. 5-year-old, Goan Catholic family from living in the UK. And this child used to have tantrums, and she was having a lot of problems at home and especially at school. And when she used to get frustrated, they get frustrated because they're not very good at communication initially. And she was struggling with it, and then she would bang her head on the floor or on the walls. And it was so tough for the school authorities also because they were worried that something could happen to her and then they would have to face a whole lot of litigation. So one day they just told the parents, we really can't handle this. So I think you need to remove her from the school. The parents didn't know what to do. So they came to Goa looking for different things because they didn't want to put her on any allopathic drugs really, or, because they can numb the brain and things like that. So they were worried, just a 5-year-old child, isn't it? So they came and then, a friend of my husband's brought them over and said, she really helps with a lot of things. So why don't you talk to her? And then I told them, look, I've never done anything for autism, with homeopathy or bark remedies or whatever. None of them have worked really. But, I mean, I can try. But, if you get some results within a week, then you can come back. But they didn't get any results within a week. And they came back and they said, no, please, we need help. And this child was so difficult to handle. She was jumping on every sofa of mine. She was jumping on the beds and she wanted to, jump off the balcony. We live on the first floor. So she wanted to jump off the balcony. And my husband was pulling his hair out, worried, that she would jump and whatever. So it was so difficult. And then I said, okay, let me put Mag Healy And I didn't know what to put because, it was just 2 months since I've used Healy and Mag Healy, and I really wasn't sure, what to use. And I just put instinctively, I put head harmony. Now, head harmony is a classic program which has to be taken on the body. But this girl wouldn't even allow me to put Healy on her collar, right? She wanted to throw the device. So I thought Mag Healy would be better. So I just put head harmony and I thought, okay, maybe it'll work. And in 10 minutes, right? In 10 minutes, this child came and sat down on the sofa next to me. I was watching. I said, oh, she was all over the place and now she's sitting down. Wow. And then I continued chatting with her parents and whatever. She was just looking at me. And after another 10 minutes, I asked her parents, is this normal for her to come and sit down? They said, you don't know how happy we are. This child doesn't sleep for more than 3 hours a day. In 24 hours, she sleeps only for 3 hours. And we are completely exhausted. And now she sat down for 10 minutes on her own. This is magical. We're going to buy this. I said, okay, fine, go ahead and buy it. So they didn't buy the Mag Healy because they were worried about the school. They still bought the Healy. The first month, some programs were given, whatever. I took help from other people, some frequency experts to, ask what to give and all, because I wasn't sure and I wasn't very confident and I really wanted to help her. But at that stage, nothing worked for the first month. So they said, nothing has worked really. She's still the same. So then the next month, I worked on this. I asked them to do scans and whatever. I made them do all the analysis, send me the screenshots, worked on it a lot. And then I came up with a protocol for them and I said, use this. And then once they started using it, at the end of the month, they said to me, the school said that there is a 25% improvement. I said, wow, that's very encouraging. And then the next month after that, we worked again with her. And the next month after that, they said the school has said there is a 40% improvement. I said, that's even better. I said, let's hope for even better news now. 1 month later, right? That's the third or the fourth month after they started using it. I get a call from her father. And he's crying bitterly on the phone. He's crying and crying. And he's saying, my daughter is brilliant. My daughter is brilliant. And I couldn't relate it. Why is he crying if his daughter is brilliant? So I said, where are you? And he said, I'm driving. I said, why don't you just park somewhere and call me and calm down a little and call me? He said, okay. So he called me. He said, I went for the parent-teacher meeting. And the school was telling us that she's almost 80% better. But that's not all. Now that she can communicate, they said, we have realized that she's the most brilliant in the class. Now, here's a father who thought his child was a slow learner, that she wasn't really bright, and then to be told that she's the most brilliant child in the class. He was so grateful that he was crying tears of joy and gratitude pouring down his eyes. And, he called me the first thing he could. He didn't even wait. He just called me and he was trying to tell me this. Well, I tell you what, I was also crying with him on that call because I was so happy too. And we never looked back. She's 100% fine now. She goes on to win every medal, every certificate, and I get a photo of all that. And I feel like she's my child, because she's done so well. So if you guys know of children, who are autistic or who have ADHD or, slow learners, do try this, do try these devices. They work like magic. And I feel happier because, Gurudev, it was Gurudev who guided me towards this. And as part of my seva, I do a lot of health related seva. So as part of my seva, it is so, so gratifying to see the change. I've gone on to help a few more autism kids and they're all doing well. I also work with schizophrenia. These are people who people have given up on. And I can tell you one thing, I get rave results, absolutely rave results. I have people who have, schizophrenia for years, 10 years, 12 years, and they've healed completely. And you don't know what it is, for their families and for them. They just come back into this world again. And for their families, they get their world back again. It is incredibly gratifying to see that. And I'm so, so grateful to Healy and to Gurdev for guiding me, to this frequency devices, to Marcus Schmike for making it, for making a device like this, to Christian Halper for promoting it, and to Kiran to selling it for me, and to Sachin Gupta, for doing whatever he does so well, and to Alok also to doing so much good that they do, Ram Mishra as well, to all the good that they do for Healy in India. It's just incredible. Thank you so much, Leena. I don't know if I've taken up a lot of your time and whatever. I'm so sorry if I've taken up too much time, but Healy does that to me. I can just go on and on.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh my God, while you were talking and sharing that autistic girl's story, I can tell you I was controlling my tears. I mean, though you were sharing the story and it is so heart touching and literally was feeling like tears flowing down. Thank you for what you do and the way you have shared it. I could feel the connection. I could feel the depth of your heart, that how beautifully you want people to come out of their illnesses. And it's only, I feel somewhere it's your grace, Sunila Ji, the way you use Healy. Healy is powerful. Healy is a genie. But the kind of humble heart and your intention which you put out, that amplifies.